things we understood were going on in the land administration system, which is calling for some of that. We investigate and understand the basis for the allocation of some of these lands. We also want to prevent irregularities, that is to curb and prevent corruption and improve efficiency across public institutions. Lands Commission is one of the very public institutions that sometimes some of us who play within the system, when people describe Lands Commission, it makes you want to leave the system because it looks as if it is a citadel of corruption. Most of our issues that we hear in the past were based on this fact that lands were sold just anyhow. And so I support the president when he's saying that we should allow a lot of investigation to go into the system to get where there were irregularities. There were a lot of the land sale regulations that were so open, and it was up to the discretion of whoever was granting the land. And so we are saying that we want to look into these situations and ensure that where we had to rehash or regularize some of this system, we do it so that we kept the over-dependence on discretion on the authorities or the people who matter in this situation.
Thank you.
I believe that the Executive Secretary of the Lands Commission was appointed exactly 14th of April 2025, about 4 months down the line. I'm not sure that he would have been able to finish with the issues that concern the allocation of these lands.
Thank you,
Are you
Honorable
saying
Maxwell.
that because, is the member saying that because people are losing their value, they should be allowed to go through the system of registration without due records to what we want to do to ensure that we nip these situations in the bud?
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I thank him so much, but I wish that he does better by bringing out to the public the things that caused the President, John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, to put the ban rather than the causes and the consequences he thinks that people are suffering due to this. I thank you very much for the opportunity.
So are you saying that the consequence is not important?
I'm not saying the consequences are not important.
The reason is important. The consequence as well is important.
Somebody to put a situation in place. So if you just talk about the consequences without talking about what really is causing whatever is happening.
Very well.
As the Clifton says, action and reaction are equal and opposite, isn't it?
Very well. Thank you. Yes. Honorable Member for Dotobri.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In the first place, I would like to commend the Honorable Member for Subin for his delivery. Mr. Speaker, it's been over 7 months since this embargo was placed on the sale, leasing, as well as all transactions affecting government lands. It started off by one. I would like to enumerate it. The executive director was asked to present a report on all recent transactions. Mr. Speaker, in the same letter dated 10th January 2025, he was also asked to present a comprehensive review of the current framework which the Lands Commission goes by. Subsequent to these two directives, Mr. Speaker, there was a more serious one, directing the Lands Commission not to process any transaction dated after 2017. The government knows the reason why they did that, which I believe Ghanaians would want to know. Mr. Speaker, my concern is that it is a very well-known fact that the Lands Commission generates a lot of money for the businesses of this government. Now, we have individuals, we have organizations, etc., who have acquired lands, who have completed building, who are occupying their premises, but do not pay rent because, according to the letter dated 10th January 2025, they are not supposed to be doing any business regarding transactions dated 2017 and beyond. Apart from that, no stamp duty is being generated. But we are aware that every government requires a lot of money, a great deal of money, to be able to do its business. That aside, Mr. Speaker, we all know the problem in Accra. There are problems with family lands, there are problems with stool lands, and a lot of people are comfortable acquiring government lands because of these problems. Not to forget about investors. And this is also affecting the investors' interest in doing business in Ghana. Because for 7 months now, no businessman, no business entity can acquire government land. If even you acquire it, you cannot go ahead to process documentation on the said land. I think that we would have to look at this critically. 7 months is too much. Everybody is suffering. The individual is suffering. Institutions are suffering. I would urge the government to expedite action on this so that it would serve as a deterrent to those who have committed crimes. Then again, for those who have acquired lands genuinely, they can pay the necessary statutory fees, duties, etc., for the government to earn money to do its business. Then also, the foreigners, the foreign investors, can also have confidence in our system again, acquire lands, and come and do their business. I'm grateful.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Let me turn to Honorable Minister for Education.
Mr. Speaker, let me thank you for the opportunity to comment on the statement made by the Honorable Kofi Obiri-Yeboah. Speaker, I don't know if I have his permission to call him Oskani, as he was popularly referred to as in Commonwealth Hall, our days at the University of Ghana with Tony Mbia. He was my campaign manager. But Mr. Speaker, on the larger issue, I'm sure the Honorable Deputy Minister for Lands will provide policy guidance. But to assure the maker of the statement, Mr. Speaker, President Mahama is law-abiding President of the Republic. Yes, it's true. Yes, it's true that he issued a directive on 10th of January 2025 to sanitize land acquisition in Ghana. And Mr. Speaker, those who lawfully and genuinely acquire their lands should not worry about the consequence of these directives. What the President sought to do was to have first-hand information on who got what, when, how, and for how much. And then, Mr. Speaker, to specifically deal with those who, in the name of influence and authority, are grabbing public lands against the public interest and not even acquiring land. And Mr. Speaker, may I with respect refer you to Article 257 of the Constitution. All public lands in Ghana shall be vested in the President on behalf of and in trust for the people of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, it imposes a fiduciary responsibility on the President that tomorrow he should be able to account to the Ghanaian people that having assumed office as President of the Republic, how were public lands managed in Ghana under his watch, and for him to be accountable to the Ghanaian people. The President is well aware that you need land for farming, you need land for investment. In fact, he's even thinking that foreign investors who come into Ghana and people will stand their way to land acquisition, the President thinks that there must be a rapid response to their request in order that we can accelerate how attractive Ghana can be in respect for foreign direct investment. So, Mr. Speaker, we also do know, and this is my conclusion, that in Ghana, people have taken advantage of this acquisition of public lands. And Honorable Kofi, look at Article 20 very well. You acquired a land for public purpose. You haven't used it for the public purpose. The land must go back to its original owners. That hasn't happened in many instances. So, Mr. Speaker, the directive of the President to assure my colleague was to provide, one, for the President to have first-hand information over the last 8 years. How have public lands been managed? Who took undue advantage of this in order that he can provide correctional measures as the person to whom this land is vested? So, Honorable Kofi, be assured, those of you who are doing legitimate business and want to acquire land for purpose of business, you are not the target of the President's directive. His target is to the looters of land in the name of influence. How can you acquire a school park or a school building or a school land for purpose of that acquire the public land? You go and take a school building, even where children should be playing football. And Mr. Speaker, elsewhere, I'll conclude. You know, the law even on Asante lands is different. The law on Upper East lands is different. The law in other jurisdictions is different. So, Mr. Speaker, be assured that I'm sure the Minister for Lands will provide an appropriate response. The President acted lawfully within his mandate in order to sanitize the acquisition of lands in Ghana and to stop the looting of public lands in the name of public influence. So he has accordingly directed that no minister under his watch should be associated with the acquisition of any public lands. I'm sure we would oblige him in order that we help him achieve the sanity. I thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Member for Swami.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity to comment on the statement ably made by my brother, the MP for Subin, Honorable Kofi Obiri-Yeboah. Mr. Speaker, his statement has brought up very important issues happening in land administration sector. Mr. Speaker, you know that in this country, at least in Accra, sometimes it takes 5 to 6 years to register lands in this country. And so the policy by His Excellency the President, in my view, has put an undue burden on the Lands Commission and the people of Ghana. Already, as I said, Mr. Speaker, it takes so much time to register a land in Ghana. And so for the President to maintain this policy for the past 7 months without review means that now the time for registration of lands are going to go way up. Is that what we want as a country? That if you buy a land and you want to register, it will take you 6 years, 7 years, or sometimes 8 years. Mr. Speaker, I'm aware I have clients who have lands purchased from private individuals, even though the lands were originally government or public lands. They have purchased from private individuals, and they are supposed to transfer their titles to another private people. And because of this policy, Mr. Speaker, they are unable to register or they are unable to get their title. Mr. Speaker, this is a worrisome situation, and I believe that the minister should be able to tell us when the government intends to review this policy. The policy as it is right now, in my view, Mr. Speaker, with respect, I believe was not properly thought through. If it were, Mr. Speaker, timelines would have been given. For instance, the President would have said that I am putting this embargo for 3 months for a review to be done. The embargo, when it was placed, did not give timelines. So the people of Ghana do not know, especially those who are registering lands, don't know how long this embargo is going to take before it is reviewed. And so, Mr. Speaker, it is a very important statement, and I believe every member in this House should support the the statement as ably made by my brother, especially, Mr. Speaker, as it deals with the time within which registration of land is done. And, Mr. Speaker, without more, I thank you for the opportunity, and I yield the floor.
Let me go to Tema West before I come to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Let me start by thanking the maker of the statement for this very important statement to the House. And let me also say that I want to associate myself with the submissions that were made by the Honorable Minister for Education. Indeed, this directive by the President was triggered by certain circumstances. I think we witnessed what we call the state capture, and this particularly in Tema West. We had a situation where football parks, markets were being sold out under very bizarre circumstances. And if you look at a place like the Ramsar site has been completely sold out, to the extent that recently there were some demolitions around the area. And it came out clearly that people were even building in the center of the Ramsar site because all these places were sold out. So it was important for such directive to come to sanitize the system. And I believe that by so doing, we will ensure that all lands that were acquired under the wrong circumstances can be revoked and reverted back to the state. So I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. And I revert to leadership. Leader, let me go to my... Oh, yeah. Let me take the minister first before I come to you. Or the other way around. Yes, Minister. I think if you listen to the statement, you're listening to your colleagues.
Mr. Speaker, I'm very grateful for this opportunity to contribute to this statement made by my good friend, Honorable Kofi Obiri-Yeboah, on this very important subject matter. Mr. Speaker, listening to him, on one breath, I asked myself whether this was the right time to read this statement, given the fact that from where I sit, I have a lot of information, but I will be measured, because if I were to come up with detailed information that I have with respect to land sales, especially government land sales, I'm sure my brother would have decided that he will wait and make this statement another time. Mr. Speaker, His Excellency the President acted lawfully, and like my hard-working Education Minister stated, he acted within the law. I thought I would have been praising him, because in your own statement, you said that the President did what he did in order to safeguard government lands. That's an admission that indeed what he has done is the right thing. I know you as a lawyer, a land lawyer, and I know you have so much interest in issues that has to do with land. And so I'm not surprised when you came out with this statement. But let me just say this, that even within this House, especially with reference to Honorable Stephen Amwa, who made a public statement that he's appealing to the President and this government to ensure that a land that was taken away from schools in the Ashanti region be reverted back to the schools. There is a deputy minister who served in the previous administration for some number of years. I know he could not talk while his government was in power, but he was bold enough to call on the President to ensure that this land is given back to the school. It tells you that indeed there's a problem. It tells you that there's a need for the President to investigate, okay, the sale of government lands over this period. I heard somebody asking why 2017 to date. Under the previous administration, there was a committee that investigated the sale of land between a certain period ending in 2016. And so there won't be the need for you to go back and do investigation when those investigations have already been done. We are also told that government is going to lose revenue because as people who are now willing to pay their revenue, taxes are not paying. It doesn't mean that when the ban is lifted, they won't pay those monies. So no money is going to be lost. And so it's important to also put this on record. The maker of the statement said some people legitimately acquire their lands. Let us avert our minds to the very law that gives the right for us to be able to acquire such lands as individuals or as corporate organizations. And that law is the State Land Act, Act 125, 1962. The act came with its LI 130. And in that LI, there is a form called Form 5. The honorable member should take a look at that Form 5 and look at the requirements very, very well. Let me mention some of the requirements. One, the applicant must provide his bank statement. The applicant must provide his bank statement. That is one. Two, the applicant must provide 2 passport-size pictures. The applicant must also state his source of funding to develop the land. Again, the applicant cannot also acquire more than 2 plots. There are instances where you have people who have plots in Ashama, they have government land in Osu, they have government land in everywhere. These are the reasons why there's a need for us to investigate the sale of government lands. Mr. Speaker, let me also say that the President has put in place a very strong bipartisan committee. And let me announce to you that the committee is made up of people like Lawyer Kwame Jan, and I know you know him very well. Lawyer Kwame Jan is serving on this committee. You have Professor Yakub Bano serving on this committee. You have Reverend Lawrence Tete serving on this committee. You also have Dr. Sepran at Works Housing Ministry serving on this committee. It tells you that the President means business. The President wants to interrogate and to assess the way lands were sold in this country with this period so that he can account to the good people of Ghana for the stewardship that they have given him within the period that he's supposed to govern. Mr. Speaker, let me also state that there were some government land arrangements. For instance, he made reference to what he would call the swap arrangement, where government land is given to private individuals so that they value the land and they also provide some asset to government in lieu of the land that they have given to them. We have come to realize that there wasn't value for money for some of those lands. And so it is important to ensure that Ghanaians benefit from the very land that they bequeath to us. And so very soon, the committee will come out with its findings, and the President has given us up to the 2nd week of August to submit our report. Once that is done, I can assure you that the ban will be lifted and there will be policy guideline. Then if there's a need for some legislation to be made, we'll do that in order to ensure that government lands or state lands are not abused the way we are currently seeing it. Indeed, there was a rush to register government lands in the last days of the previous administration, and the records are there. If you go to the Lands Commission, the number of applications that the Lands Commission saw within that sub-period is unimaginable. Why were we rushing to do it? Clearly something went wrong somewhere. Let me say that some people have called me as the chairman of the committee And they were worried. The Honorable Yusuf, the way you people are going about this issue, how are you also going to get lands? And I told them that this is a different administration. This is the John Mahama-led administration. It is not like the previous one where people can acquire land anyhow. And for us, it is about Ghanaians and nothing. And so I've told those people that very soon there will be a policy guideline that will not allow people to acquire government land the way we saw it under the previous administration. And so, Mr. Speaker, let me end it here, but to assure the maker of the statement that very soon, very, very soon, the ban will be lifted, and very soon, there will be a report. And I'm inviting you that you can appear before the committee. We are inviting so many people. And if you want to give us some information, you are most welcome. We can arrange for you to come and provide us with the information you have. Mr. Speaker, when I spoke about Stephen Amwa, that he made a call to the president and for that matter, to the ministry, that there are some lands that were acquired by the previous administration and those lands belong to schools. The Honorable Minister said it here. School lands were acquired and given to private individuals. Now, if the school wants to expand, where do they go? And so I intend to invite Honorable Stephen Amwa to also come and provide us information so that we can get that land back to the school. When we do that, then we will know that indeed we are resetting this country. With this, Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, now let me come to leadership. Honorable Jerry Ahmed.
Speaker, thank you very much for this opportunity. Speaker, I want to commend the maker of the statement, Lawyer Kofi Obiri-Yeboah, who is very well known in this land matters as an expert. Mr. Speaker, just as he captured in his statement, he says that, Mr. Speaker, although, and I quote, although the directive by the President to halt all state transactions may have been issued with good intentions, it may pose serious problems or challenges. Mr. Speaker, and I can understand where my colleague is coming from. Mr. Speaker, this is obviously not a bad step, but consequentially, what we have seen over the period, Mr. Speaker, lands which have been acquired by individuals who had to go through proper legal processes, Mr. Speaker, are being taken from them by all manner of people, including people now labeling themselves as national security operatives. They enter into people's lands, in fact, including ones which have been registered and have been properly titled. They enter, forcefully take, and it brings about a lot of problems, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I speak with you, there are individuals who are even now fighting chiefs to claim lands that belong to government just because of this directive. Mr. Speaker, when you go to cantonments, you go to Laboni and several other high-end areas, some of these lands now have become the lands of some traditional leaders. Now, what they say is that since the President has given this directive, the lands have automatically reverted to us, causing a lot of problems. Mr. Speaker, land guardism is now on the high. Is now on the high. Land guardism is the order of the day. Mr. Speaker, unless my friends do not want to bear with me and to learn from me the truth, when you go to areas I have indicated, super, people go and say that it's okay to listen and learn. People go with all manner of forces, Mr. Speaker, to forcefully now take lands. from people. Mr. Speaker, besides that, there is also a problem that I have also noticed with this directive. And Mr. Speaker, it's for the purposes of moving Ghana forward. If you are given a directive, and the directive only ends at 2016, obviously there is a problem with that directive. Because state lands were given out in 2015. State lands were given out in 2014. State lands were given out in 2013. Mr. Speaker, nobody is saying that don't stop, investigate, give the natural course of directives. But when you stop, and that you can still find friends who can still go behind and have these lands registered. Mr. Speaker, this is questionable. Does that make this directive a proper directive? This is what we have to ask ourselves. Mr. Speaker, when there comes in witch hunting, because it is believed that, oh, Honorable Habib has one, or Dr. Tia has one, or I have one, and it is as if people are coming after me, whilst others can go and register. Mr. Speaker, then that is a problem. Mr. Speaker, I was expecting the Deputy Lands Minister to also tell us that, pursuant to the Constitution, I think Article 259, the regional lands commissions have been commissioned. As we speak, I do not think there is any regional lands commission that has been commissioned. As at,
he said he did not. For that one, I know that.
Mr. Speaker, it's okay. If that is even the case,
I'll come.
Mr. Speaker,
I'll come.
Don't worry, you can sit down. When I finish, you can make your questions.
I'll come to you. Don't worry.
Mr. Speaker, if the lands commissions, the regional lands commissions have even been commissioned, Mr. Speaker, I have information again that where there are requirements as stated by the Constitution, for instance, the Ghana Bar has to have a representative. Whoever, Mr. Speaker, who is giving the name of the Ghana Bar representative to be a part of the commission? I am telling you on authority that information that I have, it is not coming from. So a lawyer who is supposed to be a representative on the commission, that is supposed to be submitted by the Ghana Bar, is not what is happening. And so I expect my colleague, the minister, to rather go and do a foolproof check to find out if the right people are the right people on the commission. And Mr. Speaker, that is the truth. And we are doing all of this in... Mr. Speaker, we are doing all of this to ensure that the right things are done. I have followed this over the period. As a former commissioner, I know what I am saying. Mr. Speaker, with all this said, I want to thank you for the opportunity. I want to thank my friend Aubrey.
But, Honorable Jerry, Leader, I'm coming. Leader, I'm coming. Are you saying that land registration is going on selectively? Well. Well. Leader, before I come to you, let me give 2 minutes to the minister
I'm very,
to address some of these issues.
For this opportunity to correct the records. I'm a bit surprised that this is coming from my very respected leader. He contradicted himself. On one breath, you said that you are not sure that the Regional Lands Commission have been inaugurated. On another breath, you are saying that they've been inaugurated, but they have not used, they have not used the right processes to select, especially those who are supposed to represent the Ghana Bar Association. Let me put it on record. That the ministry wrote letters to the various institutions, and they have responded, selecting the people they wanted to represent them on the boards. And we have all the letters. Tomorrow, God willing, at 1 o'clock, we are going to inaugurate the last regional board, and that is the Greater Accra Regional Board. That is the last one. And so if you said that you are not sure that they have inaugurated them, I'm putting it to you that we have inaugurated all of them, except Greater Accra, which is going to happen tomorrow. Again, let me also say that all the allegations you made here are false. But because you're a leader and where you sit, I want to be very charitable. My personal relationship with you, I don't want to destroy it. But I do know that the minister responsible for lands and natural resources is a law-abiding minister, and his deputy minister is following his footprints. And so we are not behaving. We are not behaving like what happened under your administration. There are records, and if you want from here, follow me to the ministry. I will show you letters from the various institutions nominating the people they wanted to serve on the board. We are not doing things like the way you did them. That's the difference.
Thank you.
There's no any selective registration. If you push this issue, we have to invite you to come and provide evidence of where you have seen Lands Commission disrespecting the directives and doing some selective registration. That's unfair. And I think that it should not be coming from you. Thank you.
Yes, leader. I beg of you, leader, I didn't come early. I mean, we've gone round. We have come to leadership.
No, Mr. Speaker, I give him all the, Mr. Speaker, I give you all the reverence. I'm not going to take, I was here when you said that it's them of leadership. So I don't intend to hijack the position of leader. That's not it. I was only
he's a former leader. Let me.
I was only telling my colleague opposite who just finished speaking that if you are responding to a specific point that my colleague made, which is said that the commission in Accra has not been integrated, you respond. Can I finish? Respond to it. But when you, but Mr. Speaker, when you try to cast aspersion on previous government, you leave yourself room for me to get up and speak back at you. Because you do not have any proof that the commissions were not put in place and people were selling lands under the previous government. If I ask you to prove it, you cannot prove it. You cannot. You cannot prove that that was not done. Excuse me, please. So, please, you make your point, but don't say that you are not doing it like how others were doing. It's wrong. Because you don't have any proof about it. The records are clear. The records are clear.
Honorable Deputy Minister, please.
The records are clear.
No.
That any land that was sold or any land that was given out was done using due process. If you have a problem with it, you have set a probe, you have set a committee, let them come out their reports and let's all debate it. Present to the people of Ghana, let's debate it.
Thank you.
Today you are no more in opposition, so you can't do propaganda. You are a minister. We can do, even though we will not do. You are a minister.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Minister. Yes, leader of the House. Leader of the House.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think this is one of the very important statements made in this House. It touches on one of the very important matters that border on accountability of public officers. Mr. Speaker, I was minister more than 8 years ago, and I drive around property that I lived in, that colleague ministers lived in. Today, I see almost all those properties pulled down and new buildings put up. It has become a practice for public officers when they occupy government bungalows. By the time they leave the government bungalows, they would have acquired the bungalow. either in their names or in the names of third parties. And it's not just elected public officers. It's also the senior civil servants. The senior civil servants. The technocrats. So public officers generally. Lands that were acquired by Nkrumah, lands that were acquired by the colonial government for public infrastructure. We have made it a habit that as for our generation, not only will we disappoint the future by not acquiring new lands, but even what has been bequeathed to us, we will make sure that they don't survive us. So this is a very serious matter. Mr. Speaker, I think that sometimes we take certain matters lightly. But the public is watching. They know every inch of land in this country. They know which ones belong to the state. And when we steal those lands, they see and they know. So let's get serious.
Leader, when you say when they steal, I'm in
Mr.
a difficulty.
Speaker, if the
position is not proper, fine. But when you say
there is legal stealing and illegal stealing. Mr. Speaker, I heard him. He said that we should come to the probe and prove that due process was not followed. The fact that you followed due process doesn't mean that you didn't steal public lands. The fact that you went through due process doesn't mean that public land has not been stolen. There can be conspiracy to go through due process to steal public lands.
It happens all the time.
It happens all the time. Where public officers connive and go through due process to steal public land. That has happened.
Leader,
so that when you go
have
to
you
court,
seen the Minister of Education is looking at you?
Mr. Speaker,
Yeah, leader,
Mr. Speaker, yes, I went to law school, but I'm saying that public officers will conspire to go through due process to steal public land. Mr. Speaker, that is what is happening, where we are stealing public lands. And this became a major campaign issue, where Ga communities were complaining about their lands which were taken from them to establish the capital city. Now, we say we don't need those lands, and we are not returning it to the Ga people. We are finding ways and means of going through due process to take the lands for ourselves. So it is a big issue. And the Ga people have been marginalized, and they are living just along the coast. And the very expensive parts of the city, the rich, Roman rich, cantonments, and etc., are far airport, residential area, are far beyond their means. And acquiring state lands have become a mechanism of corruption because we undervalue the lands, we acquire the lands, then we now sell them for their real values, and then we cream off the difference. Clear case of stealing. Mr. Speaker, go and then take the sales at the point where the property was being passed from the state to the private person, and now go to the market and check the value of the same land. Ridiculous. The margins, the difference. An acre of land that will cost millions of dollars will be sold to individuals at just a few 100,000 Ghana cedis. And immediately they will go and flip it. That is clear corruption. And this is what President John Dramani Mahama has decided that he will put an end to. And that is the basis of the directive that was given. So I'm surprised that anybody on this side will actually be discussing this matter. We would have just kept quiet. Because if we really go into the records and we really pursue the matter, if we go into the record and we pursue the matter, there will be issues. There will be issues. I'm saying there will be issues. There will be issues. Mr. Speaker, So I think that we should be commending the president for the boldness. Why? Those who were there and rushing to sell, it's not just that they are the ones who know money or know how to acquire property. He has brought a team into government. By stopping the transactions, the manner in which he did, he also sent a clear signal to his own team that this is not something I will tolerate. We're not talking about those who were selling, left and right, and then somebody said, oh, well, I'm not saying don't sell, but before you sell, pass it through me. Have you forgotten so soon that a certain president said they should seek clearance from him before selling? You haven't heard. Go and check the records. Check the records. Mr. Speaker, I think that those of us in public office must learn to at least respect the trust that the citizens have reposed in us. If we will not multiply their assets, let's not steal what they have given to us to guard. Let's not steal what they have given to us to guard. And I'm so proud of President John Dramani Mahama that within weeks of being in office, the first issue he seeks to tackle is the issue of the looting of public lands. I think that it is an opportunity for us in this house as members of parliament to follow his footsteps and to make sure that we also track the process that he himself is putting in place so that we can hold each other accountable, so that every regime that comes will steadfastly hold the previous regime accountable. I hear people talk about the political class, I hate the notion that as a political class, we should conspire. We should conspire to loot property. We should conspire to be corrupt. We should conspire to divest the state of its assets. Mr. Speaker, the people voted us to protect those assets, and we must be seen doing that. Let me thank the maker of the statement. I can assure him that the process President John Dramani Mahama has put in place will be a transparent and open process. If public land needs to be sold, we should declare and explain why that public land needs to be sold. And if public land needs to be sold, the sale should be transparent. It should be through auctions so that the highest bidder will bid for it, so that the state can get the best value out of the sale of those properties. It is not the case that we should never sell state property, but when we are selling, let's make sure that the state gets the best out of it. Mr. Speaker, on that note, let me thank the maker of the statement and assure him that the minister will soon present the report to this House. And our people say that, we'll get to know the full length of the truth. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes. Do you bring statement to a close?
Now, Mr. Speaker, there is an order paper addendum, and
yeah, leader, I'll come to you. I think Honorable Sosu wants to raise an issue. And
thank you, right, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise under Order 93.1 to seek your indulgence and with the leave of the House to raise a matter of urgent public importance, something that happened in Medina constituency that I want to bring to the attention of the House, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. Yes.
Yes, but Mr. Speaker, even his statement, he just said, I want to make a statement of urgent public importance. What is it about? We don't know anything. So definitely we cannot entertain it. But let's listen to the leader.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, before the statement, if we can free the minister to get back to work by just laying the report of two of his bills, not to take them, just to lay, so that tomorrow we'll take the reports.
Very well.
And then after that we can take the statement.
Very well.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, the minister can lay there. The chairman can lay the papers.
Very well. Honorable members, let me invite you to the order paper addendum. order paper addendum, presentation of papers. Let me invite the chairman of Education Committee to do the House the honors in laying the papers.
Report of the Committee on Education on the University for Development Studies Bill 2025. Report of the Joint Committee on Education and Public Administration and State Interest on the Ghana Scholarship Authority Bill 2025.
Honorable members, the report and the order paper addendum I have been duly presented. I direct that these reports are distributed to honorable members. Yes. Yeah, both of them.
Yeah, thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker. Yeah.
Yes, Honorable Matthew Yindam.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I've seen the statement my honorable colleague want to make. Yes, there is a statement
but
here.
I thought
Mr. Speaker,
it's in respect of the paper that was late.
No, that has been late. But this one is talking about urgent statements.
Yes.
And he comes under 33.
93.
And Mr. Speaker, if you look at the statement, it is a very important statement. I will not speak against the statement. It's a good statement. But to come under an urgent statement, Mr. Speaker, don't let's hide under some rules and set some precedents in this House, and tomorrow it will look as if we are choosing and picking. This is the statement, Mr. Speaker. Statement by Honorable Francis Kwadwo Sasu, Madina MP, on Madina report of alleged defilement of a 14-year-old girl by 18 men in Madina. This is the statement. So the issue is as crucial as we all must condemn. But he should come under a normal statement and make the statement so we can all contribute. But if you come under urgent statement, Mr. Speaker, I don't see how urgent this statement is.
Honorable member, he discussed with me. In natural fact, I didn't even know that it has been put on paper. I thought so urgent that he was going just to speak to it. So I have already granted him the yes. So that's what I'm going to say, that Honorable Sosu just speak to it without necessarily reading the statement.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my attention has been drawn to media reports on the alleged defilement of a 13-year-old girl who has been gang raped by 20 men, leaving her traumatized and pregnant. Mr. Speaker, that was a report that has been going around on all news portals. Mr. Speaker, my checks with the Madina Divisional DOFSU Commander of the Ghana Police Service confirms the facts of the story as follows. 1, the victim in question is actually 14 years and lives in Madina. 2, the girl was discovered pregnant by her parents. 3, upon questioning, she said she had had sexual intercourse with 18 men on different occasions. The Madina DOFSU has obtained a complainant statement from parents of the victim. The victim's statement has also been obtained. A police medical report form was issued in respect to the complainant to send the victim to the hospital for examination and report. 2 suspects have been apprehended, cautioned and detained to assist the police investigation. Efforts are underway to get the remaining suspects arrested since the condition is a matter of defilement.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, upon receiving the news and the briefing from the Divisional Commander of Police. Mr. Speaker, and as someone who has been interested in fighting for the rights of children in this country, I have offered myself together with a team of lawyers to hold criminal watching brief for and on behalf of this victim. Mr. Speaker, this statement is so crucial because we are talking about a minor defiled by 18 people. Mr. Speaker, we cannot consider a statement like this to just wash away because it's something we should be able to condemn. Mr. Speaker, beyond that one, I have already worked with the medical director of Panther Hospital to provide psychological support for the victim. Mr. Speaker, I thank you so much for giving me the opportunity for bringing this matter to the fore, because when you go to Medina today, this is a major issue and parents are worried about their children. They don't know the future of their children. Mr. Speaker, I want to assure the people of Medina and the parents that whatever we will do to bring these perpetrators to book, that is what we are going to do as their representative in Parliament. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker, I want to strongly advise that we should leave his statement as it is, because if you look at the contents as discussed by the maker of the statement, it is a pure criminal matter. Further comments on this issue, because police will still investigate. You said you are putting up a team of lawyers and other things. So I don't think it is something that we should be commenting on. He has made the statement as a member. Let's leave it as it is. And his team of lawyers to support the lady, the girl in question, so that we don't need to, debate much on this issue.
Well. Yes. Not comment. I just want to, from where the minority group is saying that.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to comment on the reference that was made by the minority chief, deputy chief whip. Mr. Speaker, indeed, I personally think that I side with him, but then as a female member of Parliament, I would want to commend my colleague for this statement, and also we know that clearly that it's a criminal issue, but then we will need to add our voice to the fact that parents should be much concerned about where their kids will be, the place, and before they get themselves into this matter, and it tends to be a huge issue into the society. I know the situation of the young child, what she might be going through as of now in the community. And we side with them, but then we'll commend the maker of the statements, but then we'll urge the DOSU to take this matter. And I think that these things have been happening in other constituencies, but it's a matter that has come to the floor, and members of Parliament will follow up these issues to make sure justice prevails. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Honourable members, I'm not, I think, yeah, it's okay. He was more or less complimenting. Honourable members, he was just complimenting what the minority. No. I think minority raise the fundamental issues, and I think we have to take it on board. So, honourable members, we bring statement time to a close. We thank all the makers of the statements, and all of you who have also contributed the statement that has been read today. Leadership, any indication?
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adjourn till tomorrow, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Well.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Well, honourable members, a motion has been moved for adjournment, and that motion has been seconded. So I'll put the question. As many as are in favor of the adjournment motion, say aye. All those against say no. Honorable members,
You stay here.
the ayes have it. The motion is carried. And that this House, honorable members, why? Honorable members, I haven't adjourned the House, but why are you all getting up on your feet? Honorable members, I accordingly adjourn the House to tomorrow. Leader, are you coming at 2 or 12? 2. Honorable members, we adjourn the House to tomorrow, 2 o'clock afternoon. 2 o'clock afternoon, that's 14 hours Greenwich Mean Time. The House stands adjourned.